Hey there, friends. Ready for a small tidbit of good news on a Friday heading into the weekend? But first, guys, go check out my friends over at CMMG Rifles. Go to CMMG.com. Check out their Descent. This Descent has an amazing new action that you've got to see to believe it. You want to get your hands on one. It comes in several different calibers and several different colors. Go to their website. You can get anything on their website for 10% off if you use my discount code FTATF. Again, my discount code is FTATF. Use it, get 10% off at CMMG.com. 27 attorneys general sent a letter to House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on May 25th, this was yesterday, urging Congress to act against the ATF's AR pistol stabilizer brace rule before it goes into effect on June 1st. You'll remember that House Joint Resolution 44 passed out of the House Judiciary Committee on April 19th by a vote of 23 to 15 and is now waiting for action before the full House. Yeah, nothing like waiting until the last minute to actually attempt to look like you're doing something, right? We're right up against the deadline, and these guys are now acting like, oh, yeah, we need to do something. I'd like to tip my hat big time to these 27 attorneys generals because this is a big deal. The fact that these guys are coming on board, regardless of what the governors in those states think, these AGs feel strongly enough that the ATF is overstepping any kind of its own authority that it may have or an implied authority that it may have. And the fact that they're stepping out doing this tells me a lot about that. There's a collective group of people who are making noise. That's the gun owners in America. And people are starting to listen. These congressmen are not happy in D.C. that leading right up into their big cushy vacation for Memorial Day weekend, that not only are they having to deal with their quote debt ceiling thing, like woohoo, if the government goes out of business for a couple of days, that's really going to affect everything. Yeah, life goes on, right? Life goes on. This is government we're talking about. It's a slow moving snail anyway. It's not like you guys were going to do any real work anyway, regardless of what this stupid debt ceiling thing is. But in the midst of all of that and all the little PR that they get to run on top of all this, we've hit them with kind of an ultimatum and said, guys, you need to act on this. The gun owners in the United States are very vocal about where they stand on this, and it's been very obvious. And Congress is being forced to not only take notice, but now these AGs are on our side as well. And it's like Congress cannot ignore this any longer. Congress will have to do something. Now, it's going to be late, so they're not going to stop this before June 1st. That will not happen. It's just that's the way it's going to be. This is something that's going to go away. This pistol brace will not stand. This thing is unconstitutional from the first letter to the last letter and period. But the fact that these AGs are on board, that's a strong thing to me. One thing I would like to point out for all my other voters in the state of Louisiana, Landry is our Attorney General. This is a kind of an uncharacteristic stance for an AG who's heading into an election season, and not just a re-election season for AG. This man's actually running for governor for the state of Louisiana because we're getting rid of the idiot that used to be our governor, or that I guess currently is our governor, who has crapped all over the Second Amendment, including constitutional carry. Now we have a pro-Second Amendment AG candidate for governor who we all hoped and crossed our fingers that he truly was what we thought he was, a pro-Second Amendment candidate and person. It appears that he is, because most politicians will not step out and take on some kind of potentially controversial topic like this leading into an election season, simply because, yeah, this is a very popular topic, and I do believe the majority of Louisianans, not to mention Americans, support doing away with this unconstitutional ruling by the ATF. But it's a difficult position for a politician who's running for a new office to take, because there is going to be a subset of people that he is going to anger on the other side. No matter how small it is, it's still a vote that he's not going to get. And the fact that Landry is stepping out and saying, no, you know what, I'm willing to take this risk heading into an election season because I feel strongly about this, that tells me where my vote's going to be cast. If Landry follows through with this type of thing and he continues to put this message out there and doesn't dance on two sides of the fence leading into the election for the governorship of Louisiana, he's got my vote and my full support of my vote, and I will let everybody know that this is the man we need for governor of the great state of Louisiana. But again, in closing, 27 AGs throughout the United States have sent a letter to McCarthy and filed a suit actually to say overturn this, and actually are pushing for this HJ resolution number 44 to disband this entire stupid ATF stabilizing brace ruling altogether. So kudos to those AGs. Hope you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. And again, a big hat tip to those AGs for doing this.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. some ammo!